and welcome to the 2018 Collaboration Summit. I'd like to start out by thanking all of our customers who are here today. We really appreciate your commitment and dedication, and thanks for coming and visiting us here in Arizona. We're going to have a great week. Thank you to all of our partners. We have hundreds of partners in the audience and here at the event, so thank you, of course, to all of our partners. We had a good night last night. And finally, thank you to all of our employees and all the staff who made this event possible, and all the engineers and product folks and marketing teams and everybody at Cisco who has made possible all of the great things that you are going to see today. So, we have got an incredible set of announcements, so we should just dive right in. This is a picture of Stuart Brand. How many of you know Stuart Brand? Show of hands. Anybody know Stuart Brand? Heard of him? Okay. So Stuart Brand is an author, and he was the editor of the Whole Earth Catalog back in the day, and he inspired a generation of technology innovators and pioneers, really the people that created the modern computing era. And he has a very famous quote that you might have heard, if you haven't heard of him, and that's "Stay hungry, stay foolish." And I heard him once talk about what he meant by this quote, and he described it in the following way. He said that technology innovation follows a very similar pattern to biological evolution. And that biologists in the 1950s had described this way of looking at evolution as a series of mountains and hills and corresponding valleys. And that life would tend to evolve to a sort of series of local optimums. And those local optimums would be the hill that they happened to be on at the time when they sort of started. And they would kind of get to that. But often, they were surrounded by much larger mountains. And the question is, why don't they sort of evolve to even more fitness, the fitness of the higher mountain? And the reason is that in order to do that, they have to head down the valley. And that looks awful. Going down the valley to get to some other place looks like a really bad idea. It looks foolish to most people. And so most people don't do that. And technology innovation is very similar in that way. You might have an idea that there might be a better way to do things, but you kind of keep evolving to this low hill of fitness, and then you get to the top and you wonder, where can you go? Now, in the collaboration space, I certainly feel that 5 or 6 years ago, we had a set of technologies in the industry that were sitting on a low hill. And we had a dream. We had a dream that our technology could get to a much higher mountain. But it was going to require some exploration, and it was going to require some courage to go do some things differently. And our realization was that things could be way better than they were. And we had some guideposts. There was definitely some indicators that pointed the way to that sort of higher mountaintop for collaboration technology. One of them was what was going on in the consumer technology space. Things like the mobile revolution driving video to become pervasive around the world, where everybody started doing video calling as soon as it sort of landed in your mobile device and everyone had a camera in their pocket. Things like the mobile messaging revolution that has replaced largely for the next generation and increasingly other generations as well, email as the primary form of communication, right? We also saw, so we knew that from a technology perspective, these things were going to really transform how people expected to be connected when they got to work. And that certainly, I think, has played out and is continuing to play out. The second thing is that we saw things like Moore's Law and cloud computing making these technologies more and more affordable over time. And we were really excited about those two factors being able to drive a huge transformation and a radical shift in collaboration technology for knowledge workers. And that sort of created our higher mountain. And we said the following a couple of years ago. We said that we wanted to build incredible collaboration technology experiences. We wanted to create this amazing, radical experience that was totally different than what came before, and that we wanted to make it available to everyone. Because in some cases, those technologies were already available, they just weren't widely available. I like to quote William Gibson, who says that the future is already here, it's just not evenly distributed yet. And I very much feel that way in the collaboration space. So that's what we've been up to for the last 5 or 6 years here in the collaboration business. Now, when we began on that journey, we had a set of principles where we didn't know exactly where we were going to end up. We didn't know exactly how to define that mountain. We did have a set of guiding principles that we knew if we followed those would take us to the right place. The first one, of course, was our obsession with simplicity. And if you've come to any of our talks before or listened to any of my leadership team or anyone in our organization really, I hope you've gotten the sense that we're obsessed with making technology simple, simple, simple. And we've done a great job at that. A recent example, we decided that web conferencing and video conferencing shouldn't be two separate industries. It struck us as very strange that they were, and so we were able to converge those into a single product and into a single experience and really simplify life for users and for IT and for everyone else. The next principle was compelling. We wanted to make technology that was extraordinarily compelling to our users. And Peter Thiel wrote a great book, if you haven't read it, definitely recommend it, called 0 to 1. And he talked about in his book what it takes to get people to change their behavior. And this is really relevant in the collaboration space because that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to introduce new ways to work. And it turns out that you can't make a new technology that's incrementally better, 10 or 20 or 30 or 50% better, and expect anyone to pay attention to it. You might get a few early adopters, but you're not going to get the mass market to come over to your technology unless it's an order of magnitude better. So it has to be an order of magnitude better, radically better, so that people just simply can't deny that that is a better way to work or a better technology that they should be using in their day-to-day lives. So that's a second principle that we focused on in this transformation. The third, and it goes back to our desire to make this technology broadly available, not just to the corner office or the C-suite or the biggest companies, we had to make our technology really affordable. So it's been an obsession also to take the technologies that we're building and make them more and more and more affordable so that they can scale. And we've done a great job. And you can, if you were at our event last year or you saw what we did with the Spark board, that's an example of our obsession with making this technology affordable. Less than $5,000 for that kind of an experience which even the biggest companies just several years ago couldn't even afford at any price, is now available to every company at less than $5,000 per room. A radical transformation on affordability. And that goes across the rest of our portfolio. Next, I spent 20 years in the security industry. And the security industry taught me a lot of things. And one of the things that it taught me is security cannot be an afterthought. It has to be by design. It has to be something that you put into the very underlying principles of your architecture. And so as we built out this new platform that was going to host all of this new technology that we have been building, we have made it exceptionally secure. We have gone slower in the early days to make sure that we never compromise on security. Of course, if you're reading the news nowadays, I don't have to explain to you why that's so important. And so Jonathan will be talking to you later today, and he'll actually demonstrate some of those really amazing transformations that we've been able to achieve as a result of the fact that we built security into the fundamental underpinnings of our new platform. And finally, we understood that for a technology, even if you did all of the first four things, for a new technology to truly go pervasive throughout the world, it had to work with all the stuff that was already out there. It couldn't be a new island or something that didn't work with everything else. If you're going to get this into business, not just a bunch of startups, but into every business, in every big company, large and small, it had to work with everything that was already out there. So we, of course, took that principle from Cisco's heritage. It's something that Cisco was founded on, this sort of principle of openness. And we've carried that through everything that we've done, and we're going to share even more with you on that today. We launched a $100 million fund, just for example, several years ago to incent our ecosystem partners to build integrations and bots. And we have thousands of ecosystems partners have built lots and lots of bots and integrations on our platform. And we're going to show you even more of that today. So very exciting. So we've demonstrated this. Now, we've got a very exciting set of announcements today that follow on those principles. And we're going to take you through them. We've got 5 announcements, and I think you're all going to love them. But before I start that, I want to get into a quick update on the business. Because business has been going great in the collaboration team. I think if you've been following along with our earnings calls or listening in or watching our announcements, you will see that we have really, as we've transformed our business, we've done a great job financially as well. So the markets have rewarded us for that. Start out with our calling and contact center business. Really important part of our business. We've got a whole bunch of new leaders there. On the calling side, 59% market share, everyone else 41%. So we've done a great job at continuing to take share in this mature market, and we're doing that even as we transition to the cloud. On the contact center, we are now #1 in North America at 37% market share. So we're continuing to accelerate. Our contact center business is doing great, and our calling business is doing great. Now, of course, we announced some pretty cool things in the calling business. We took 20 billion calls on our contact centers in the last year, 20 billion calls on the various Cisco contact centers. We launched a whole slew of new headsets, of new phones, and we got into the headset market, which customers love. It comes integrated with your phone. It's a great offer. We also shipped 12 million new endpoints, 12 million new endpoints onto desks and rooms. So now we're up to a total of 130 million hardware devices in the field being used by our customers. So huge growth and incredible platform to build on. We also, of course, announced the acquisition of BroadSoft. So an amazing acquisition for us and launched us to the #1 position in cloud-based calling. And I think we can get the lights real quick. We have the CEO of BroadSoft with us today. Mike Tesler is here. Stand up and take a wave now. So Mike, welcome to Cisco and welcome. We have a whole bunch of BroadSoft folks here and many of your partners here. So welcome to the team. We're thrilled to have you guys and an absolutely critical part of some of the announcements you're going to hear today. So thanks, guys. Welcome aboard. So we've really just touched the surface on the calling business. I'm going to jump into the meetings business. The meetings business has been doing great. It's been fueling lots of our growth for the last several years. Our web conferencing business and our video conferencing business continue to take share from our competitors, and you can see we're now up to 55% market share and 53% market share respectively. And we've taken an amazing 4 points of growth just in the last year in the web conferencing space, and we've grown by 11 percentage points on video conferencing. And that's on the backs of all of the hard work from our designers and our engineers creating all of the beautiful hardware devices and driving all the innovation in the web conferencing platform. So really incredible growth on the meeting side of our business. Now, last year we launched the Spark board with great fanfare in San Francisco. It was a super fun event. And since then, it's been the fastest growing SKU that we've ever shipped in our hardware business in the meeting space. So it's the fastest growing single SKU. It's gotten us access to thousands of new customers. And I guess one of the things I'm most proud of, that the team is most proud of, is that we are getting thousands and thousands of new customers who never used Cisco before at all. They saw that product, and our partners and our sales force and our marketing has been spreading the word, and it's been growing like a weed, so it's been fantastic. And that's actually driven our video conferencing business to 3 quarters of double-digit growth. And I think that was a market that at one time, 5 years ago, it definitely wasn't growing like that. But on the backs of all the innovation and hard work that the teams have put in and new products like SparkBoard, we're just seeing it start to explode, and that's only going to get stronger as we go forward. So net-net, the business is doing fabulous. And today, of course, we want to talk about all of the new announcements that we have coming for you. So I'd say we should just dive right in. Now, I'm going to start out with the cloud. Any presentation you've come to from me or my leadership team in the last 5 years have pretty much started with the cloud. We're moving everything to the cloud, and it's a big part of our strategy. It's a big part of our strategy to bring that next generation experience to our customers. And so I just want to recap for you what we now have in the cloud in our portfolio. Let's start out with, as we just mentioned, BroadSoft. We now have in our portfolio the #1 cloud calling platform in the world. We also have WebEx Meetings, which is the #1 cloud meetings platform. We've also got Cisco Spark, which is a revolutionary new experience for Teams that we launched a couple of years ago. And then we've got all of our award-winning hardware. We've got an amazing portfolio of hardware devices. We definitely have the best quality, the best experience, and we win the most awards. And frankly, when it comes to Cisco's hardware portfolio, no one even comes close. And all of these devices have been completely redesigned to connect directly to the cloud over the last year. So that's our Spark connected endpoint strategy. So if we put all those things together, you have cloud calling, cloud meetings, and you've got a Teams experience, and those are all connected to all of our award-winning devices. And you've heard me focus, of course, on simplicity so much. It's our #1 principle. Well, we've had these kind of existing under different brands. We want to have one experience on one platform with one single story and one brand. So that's why our big announcement today, first announcement, is that we're going to bring all 4 of these things under one single brand, and it is our market leading, our most well-known brand, which is WebEx. So our first announcement today, ladies and gentlemen, is I'm very pleased to announce the brand new Cisco WebEx platform. And Cisco WebEx has WebEx calling, it has WebEx Meetings, and it has WebEx Teams. And then connected to that, we have all of our WebEx devices. So let's talk about each of those, and then we're going to actually go through and tell you about each of these is brand new, by the way. They're not just renamed. So calling is powered by BroadSoft. So we're going to get into the more of these details as we do our breakouts, but our WebEx calling platform is powered by BroadSoft. Our meetings platform is an all-new version of WebEx Meetings that is video first. So we're going to share that with you next. We've taken Spark, our team collaboration app, and renamed it to WebEx Teams, and we're launching today a brand new, or we're announcing today, a brand new version of WebEx Teams that you're going to love. We've taken the best of WebEx Meetings, and we've put that into WebEx Teams. So now you're going to see a brand new version of that with an amazing new UI. And then we've got all new devices, and we even have some new devices to announce today, so we'll take you through what those are. So I want to just get started and talk to you about the very first announcement, which is WebEx Meetings, a brand new video-first experience on WebEx, the world's leading meetings platform. And what we've done is we've taken everything that we know about video and we've put it into WebEx. And so I'd like to just dive right in and do a demo of this technology. And to do that and to tell you more about it, I'd like to introduce our new leader of the meetings business. He's joining us from Microsoft. His name is Srinivasan, and he is our Vice President and General Manager for the meetings business. So please put your hands together again. Thank you. Super excited.